So, in light of celebrating 50 years of pastoral ministry, have you seen your leadership change from when you first started until now? And what advice would you give to a young leader in a church in light of that?
Have I seen my leadership change? I hope. I think I've become a little more patient. Early on, I was basically a type A personality, okay, I know what we need to do, I know how to get it done, let's go do this. And there was a certain hurriedness in my approach to everything. And it basically mellows as the years go by. And you begin to realize that the goals and objectives of spiritual ministry are not achieved in a year or 5 years or 10 years or 20 years. I have the most amazing experience of being in a church where the work of the Word has been going on for 50 years. It's hard for me to convey to a young pastor the most important thing that you can possibly do is be enduringly faithful to the Word of God, enduringly patient with your people, love them, and just stay where you are long enough to see the Word do its work. Don't be in a big hurry. That's hard for young guys because we're full of energy and you know the truth and you want to go fix the church and straighten the church out. And we often have guys that come out of the Master's Seminary very well equipped for ministry, but too impatient to last. And so when they go in and ride roughshod over people and the way they've done things, they find themselves looking for another church in a year or two. So realize this, that the most important thing you can do as a young minister is to love your people, and it's teaching them the Word of God while loving them at the same time that allows you to have the time to see the change take place. Okay?
Thank you.
So would I do things differently? Sure. Yeah, I mean, of course. I remember one night I preached on why the Antichrist will be a Jew. And then the next Sunday night I preached on why the Antichrist will be a Gentile because I thought I got it wrong. Sure, I don't know which tape I finally landed on, but you can find out. There are things that you would always change about ministry, but I'll tell you one other thing. And this is so very important. In the end, it is your character that attracts people close to you. So if you want to be surrounded by people of character, then they have to see it in you. And what strengthens any man's life in ministry is the people around him. I am not the explanation for what happens here or anywhere else. It is all these people that the Lord has collected around me. I basically have a simple life. I get oatmeal Sunday morning, Patricia makes with brown sugar and fruit. I come down here, I preach a few times, and then all this other stuff happens. And it happens because the truth and the integrity that backs up that truth gives validity to the ministry and attracts people who are attracted to that integrity. It's the integrity of your life and the faithfulness of your teaching. And it's a slow process. From the beginning, I used to say, I want to do two things: preach the Word of God, hopefully through the New Testament, and train men. And through the years, I have not attracted men who don't want to do what I do. But I have attracted men who want to do what I do. And that's what makes ministry so powerful, is you're just multiplying yourself again and again and again and again. I mean, if you take the kind of a pastor that has a rock and roll church and does some kind of shtick, on a platform, and he's a kind of a cool dude communicator, he's not going to attract expositors. He's going to attract those kinds of people who are interested in theatrical display. That's not a formula for building a great church. Maybe a formula for getting an audience. But if you're faithful in teaching the Word of God over the long haul, it's amazing how cumulatively this and exponentially this begins to explode. My whole life has just been this continual flow of men coming here who want to do what I've done, and not necessarily a style, but with integrity, teaching the Word of God and building a church according to what the Word of God says. So just be patient. And I've said this many times. You worry about the depth of your life and ministry, let God take care of the breadth of it. You be who you need to be and watch the Lord collect around you the people who want what you are doing to be the mark in their life. And as the Lord grows that, it'll multiply. And one day you'll wake up 50 years later and say, how did this ever happen? So I'm not the explanation for it, but the nature and character of biblical ministry is what attracts men with that same conviction. And that's why, if you had a non-biblical ministry and just keep attracting non-biblical people, the thing spirals completely out of control. But if you have a biblical ministry and you keep attracting people committed to biblical ministry, it just gets richer and deeper and broader and higher and wider, and that's what we've experienced here. Does that help?
Yes, thank you very much.
Thanks.